Okay, yeah, once again, welcome to cybersecurity demo. Here already some of the existing batch people are available. So, and also some of the new people are joined. Okay, so anyway, this is like a brush up call. So for existing batch, already 15 to 20 days classes are completed up to network attacks. And also we started endpoint security, antivirus we started, then we stopped because of my personal problems and also office problems. So what I will do once again from the starting, I will explain the classes. It will be brush up like you, and also it will be repeated classes. Okay. So from tomorrow onwards, I will start new classes completely from the starting of the networking concepts. Then we'll go to the, okay, so OS layers and so on. Okay, coming back to cybersecurity demo. Okay, before going to, first of all, cybersecurity part. So first of all, what is meant by security? Okay. Are you able to hear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's fine. Yeah, thanks for confirmation. Yeah, thanks for confirmation. Yeah, first of all, before going to cyber security, first of all, what is meant by security? So this is, so that may be personal point of view security and also organization point of view security. So from personal point of security is nothing but so protecting of the confidentiality, protecting of the privacy of the individual person. Okay, so that is the personal point of view. But in the official or computer or information technology point of view, what is meant by security? So security is nothing but here protecting of data or protecting of information. Okay, so protecting of data or protecting of information, we will call it as security as per the computer terminology. Okay, not only just data or information. So that may be anything. So example, taking care of the building, taking care of the automation, taking care of the computers, taking care of the data, taking care of the application, total end to end. So that is called security. Okay, so cyber security. So what is the advantages of the cyber security and why it is booming like anything? So first of all, what is cyber security? And how many cyber security technologies or other sub branches of the technologies we have, then we'll go one by one. Okay, so here branches of security, you can see here. So there are 8 to 9 approximate as per my experience and as per my knowledge. I can consider classification or branches of security, total 8. Okay, so first one is information security. So this is existing from long back, 1980s or 1990s. Second one is a physical security. So this is also existing from long back. Endpoint security. So this is also existing from long back. Network security. This is also old technology. And remaining application security, cyber security, cloud security, product security. So 5 to 8. So these are all completely new security technologies available in the market. Okay. So information security is like a father, and remaining 7 security technologies, whatever it is showing on the presentation. Okay, that remaining 7 are like a child's. Information security is like an umbrella. Under that umbrella, all these remaining 7 will fall under. Okay, got it. So information security is like umbrella. Under that one, all these remaining securities technologies will fall under. So it is like a father, information security, remaining all are like a child's. Nothing but child's means here subset. Subset, all these remaining 7 security technologies are subset of information security. Okay. Now what we will do, we'll go one by one. What is information security? What is physical security? What is endpoint security? And so on. And what is the future? Okay, so most of the people has the common question. So what is the future in the security? Or maybe not only this security part, any technology or any training or any coaching you are taking, obviously first question is, so right now trending technology is this one. Maybe after 4 years or 5 years, whether this technology will be existing or maybe it will be completely will go down. So we have seen a lot of trending technologies in 2017 and 16. but now it's completely reduced. So example, you can take robotics. In 2017 time period, it is one of the leading technology, but now it's a completely down. Okay, now machine learning and artificial intelligence, it's top technology. We are not sure about, okay, so after 5 years, whether it is existing or not. Okay, so then coming to in the similar way, security also, currently it is a trending technology, but what about future? So everybody, and whenever somebody wants training or coaching, obviously everybody will think, including me, right? So I will clarify that doubts also. Okay, so in this, one more thing is, so why that security is booming like anything nowadays? There are a lot of hackers, attackers, or intruders. So hackers, why they want to do, okay, attacks? What is the importance of that hacking? Because they want money, or maybe because they want some data. Okay, so it is easy way of earning the money at the end of the day. So they will prepare some of the scripts, some of the malwares, and so on. They will use some hacking technologies. They will inject that hacking technologies into the automation, and finally they want it money, or maybe they want some data. So why they want data? Maybe example, one of the pharmaceutical company. So they know how to build one of the pill or medicine, right? If they are stealing that particular, okay, so whatever medicine their formula they are making, then I can put my own copyrights, and then I can build my own company. Okay, the similar, take one product also. So example, Apple or iPhone or whatever it may be, so Redmi or whatever. So if you know that completely how they are developing the product, if you are gathering that particular backend development of that particular product, you are stealing that particular backend development of the program of the data, then we can, similar as it is that whatever Redmi product or iPhone product is there, we can use a similar type of product, and we will use that code, and we will change that brand or copyrights, and then I can make my own product, right? So that is why, so these traits and also copyrights, everything, why they will keep? Because they don't want to copy their data. So mainly the security, why hacking or hackers, they want it, two purposes. One is money purpose, monetary functions. Second one is data. Okay. So because of the two reasons only, these hacking are increasing day by day. So coming back, so why this security is booming from 2017? Okay, so 2017, why it is booming like anything? So in 2017, so one 17 years boy, 17 years UK, okay, UK boy, what he has done, so he prepared one of the malware software development program, okay, one malicious software, okay, when malicious software he programmed or he developed, okay, malicious software. So malicious software means it will do dangerous things to the people or application or maybe anything. So that malicious software he developed, and he sent it to the WhatsApp group, or he sent it to the through emails to all the companies, right? Then that malware is injected to the lot of companies. First, initially, so he injected that malware or malicious software program code, whatever he developed. So he injected into the one of the UK national health related company, healthcare insurance related company. Okay. So that time, approximate, he was asking 1 million Great Britain pounds, GBP. So this attack, whenever that is happened, it is not only happened to UK company. Initially, he injected into the UK, and after that, it went to the US, then it went to the Ukraine, then it went to the Germany, then it went to the China, then it came to the India, Russia, and so on. Okay. This whatever he injected that malicious software program name, we'll call it as a ransomware attack. Okay, ransomware attack. Nowadays also from 2017 to till today, this is one of the dangerous attack. Okay, one of the dangerous attack. Only in 2017 itself, Only in 2017 itself, from May month to till December 31st of 2017. Okay, approximate all over the worldwide. Okay, 30 billions of the business loss. 30 billions of the business USD dollar. 30 billions is not any joke. Okay, so 30 billions USD dollars across the worldwide, not only one country, it's a total overall, okay, worldwide. Okay, it's almost more than TCS company revenue, right? So $1 billion, USD dollars. So when that attack is happened, so across the globe, across the companies, everybody's afraid because of this reason. Okay, so that time onward, cyber security is booming like anything. So initially they injected that ransomware attack on that particular application level, okay, or network level. Okay, so then they injected into multiple technologies. As I said, initially, we have only information security, physical security, endpoint security, network security. These four are old technologies. Okay, and once that attack is occurred, so that one they fall under this category that is called cyber security, right? So after that, nowadays, day by day, we are using lot of API calls or lot of applications that may be in Google Play Store or maybe day to day, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere, lot of applications. Okay. So applications are increasing day by day. Now they even security existing from long back. Even applications are also existing from long back, right? It is existing from 1980s development, C, C++, or Java, or C Sharp, or ASP.NET, and so on. It is existing from example 2000. Then why application security is booming now only? Because when that cyber security attack is happened, they concentrated even on application level also. Maybe attackers, they will inject malwares or whatever some scripts on the application level, and they can try to do some attacks. Then application security, one of the leading technologies in the market right now, and very, very limited people are there. Okay. In the similar way, cloud security. Cloud is existing only just 4 or 5 years back. Before that, there is no cloud. Everywhere infrastructure and physical servers, right? So whatever these remaining six branches are there, or 6 security technologies are there, those security technologies we have to implement on the cloud also. Indirectly, in the physical data center level, whatever we'll implement security, we have to implement in the cloud also. Cloud doesn't mean that it is a virtual, okay, it is not like a sky. It is a virtual environment, or it's a virtual space will be provided by Amazon, okay, Google, Microsoft, Oracle, IBM. So these are all 5 cloud service provider very famous in the worldwide. Okay. So that's cloud services providers, they will give some space to all over the global customers across the globe. And okay, so then we have to pay some money to them. It's like a leasing. It is like a leasing. Okay. Once again, another one, there are a lot of okay services are there. Okay, we'll go through their cloud security part. And next one is a product security. So application security and also product security almost similar. Almost similar. Here we are developing the application, but here we are developing the product. So that product may be example take. So Schneider Electrical related electrical products, Philips healthcare related products, or HP printers, or maybe HP completely these laptops, iPhone mobiles, and so on. So that products, even product level also, they are concentrating. This application security, cloud security, product security, cyber security is booming just only 3 to 4 years back. Just application security came into the market just only 3 years back. And product security also just only 3 years back. Okay. Before that also we are developing the application, but once that hacking is started, so they keep on putting security everywhere. They are putting on the application level, they are putting on the total entire organization level, they are putting on the product level, and so on. Okay, if you want to, out of these 8 security technologies, whatever I am presenting, So application security and product security, these two should be required product development knowledge or okay, programming language. At least one of the programming language it should be required. So that may be C language, that may be C++, that may be microservice like a Java and so on. At least one programming development language should be required, then only you are eligible to go for this application security and product security. But it's a little bit difficult job because you should know the development and you should know the programming, then you should know the even security also. It's a combination of two types of technologies. Okay, so these are all overall 8 security technologies. Now what I will do, I will explain one by one. So what is information security? What is physical security, what is endpoint security, and so on. Coming to booming wise, so or maybe the future side wise. Okay, so what is the future if you are going to the security field? That is common question for every human being or every student has. So you can see there are total 8 we have. Okay, out of 8 you can ignore physical security. Okay, so remaining 7 are there, right? In case information security field, okay, booming is reducing, then you can move to endpoint security. If endpoint security is going down in the market, then you can go to network security. Then network security is going down, then you can move to application or cyber or cloud and product. Okay. So I am working more than 13 years. Okay, so in the security field itself, okay, I'm not changing for any other machine learning or artificial intelligence or big data science or maybe Python or maybe cloud computing. No, even maybe I can retire in the security itself. So because it is one of the booming technology, that's what I want to say. But other technologies, if you want to go, so it is only one technology and there is not like branches are not there, right? You cannot move from one to another. Example, take Linux itself or take Windows itself. So it's very, very limited. Okay, so technologies right now. If they are going for dedicated to Linux vacancy, no, they don't have it. They should learn about Kubernetes platform or they should learn about DevOps and so on. It's like a combination. In the similar way, Python. If you are going for Python itself, it is not sufficient. So you should learn about some additional okay technology. It's a combination of two, right? But here, so we can move from one security branch to another security branch. That's what I want to say. So obviously, anyway, cloud security is there. Future everything is a cloud only. Obviously, cloud related people will be available, no problem at all. Got it? So that's why one of the advantage as compared to other technologies, this cyber security or security, okay, one of the leading. And also, so always booming will be there because a lot of hackers and attackers or intruders are coming day by day. And they are doing a lot of hacking technologies. Okay. So that is about this one overall. So then coming to the trending technologies in the market as per the 2019 survey and also 2020 survey. 2019 and also 2020 survey as per LinkedIn, as per the some other global, okay, so survey. So first latest technology trending in the market as per the IT, machine learning and artificial intelligence. So this is the trending one. Okay, so next one is the data science. So data science is next one, big data, Hadoop and so on, that is data science. Next one is, I can say cloud computing, AWS, Microsoft Azure, and also a Google Cloud Platform, GCP, and so on. Next one is Python. Next one, I can say cybersecurity. Python and cybersecurity, maybe places can be interchanged also. So these are all top trending technologies right now. It is available in the market. So machine learning, if you want to go for machine learning or artificial intelligence, you should know the statistics, you know, mathematics, okay, then probability, and also one of the programming language like NLP, natural programming language. Okay, in the similar way, data science, if you want to go, in the similar way, same thing. You should know about the mathematics or probability, then you should know about one of the programming language. Cloud computing. So one dedicated cloud. So cloud computing, they are expecting a lot. You want to learn about Python, one of the scripting, and you want to learn about Chef and you want to learn about auto, there are a lot of Teradata Farm, Kubernetes also coming into the market. Okay, and also Linux, backend is Linux. And Python now I don't think, okay, dedicate, we have, I'm not saying Python only dedicate to Python. We have job vacancies, yes, we have, but it's very rare. Python plus combination with some other. Okay, so then fifth place is cyber security. Okay, so the cyber security package is also equivalent to all these trending technologies, whatever it is available in the market. It's more than that. So after that, we have C++, Evergreen, embedded languages, and also we have Angular. So then we have Java. So mobile and Android. So all these are technologies are available, Power BI and so on. Okay, so then we'll go back. So first of all, information security we'll discuss. So information security here, under information security, what it will deal first of all, what is information security? So in shortcut, we'll call it as IS. I means information, S means security, right? So information security, mainly it is divided into 4 branches or 4 subtypes. So first we will call it as GRC. Okay, so second one, under that information security, we have ISO 27001, implementation of information security. Then we have risk assessment. Then we have BCP and DR, instant response. Instant response are BCP and DR, business continuity planning and disaster recovery. So this is a little bit basically on theoretical part, and also it is one type of boring job. Not boring. Basically, if you want to go for this one, you are like auditor. Chartered accountant, they will do the completely finance related auditing. Okay, we will do security auditing, but you have a lot of respect will be there. You have a lot of respect will be there, right? So here also security auditing side, we have a lot of companies like a Deloitte, PwC, okay, KPMG, Ernst and Young, EY. All those are completely security related auditing companies. So why we have to do auditing? So because if you want to get the business, okay, so we have to do some certifications. If you don't do certifications on the business point of view, we'll not get the business in simple. So in personal life also for us, if we are doing some certification along with the education, then we have more weightage in our CV, right? So here also, if you are doing the organizational point of view, some certification, then only they will give the business. Business means here projects or clients or customers. Okay, so that one completely deal with about information security. Information security is completely about organization, total end-to-end organization point of view. First of all, information is nothing but data, collection of data. Collection of data, we will call it as the information, right? So under this one, so we have GRC. GRC is nothing but governance. Second one is the risk. Third one is compliances. Okay, governance, risk, and compliances. What is meant by governance? What governor will do? So governor will give some advices to chief minister, CM, right? Here also governance means some of the objectives and goals. Okay, so you'll keep your personal life also some objectives and goals in your career or maybe in personal life, you'll plan it. Here also, what is companies will, okay, objectives and goals, they will put some strategies, right? So example, I will take Microsoft. Microsoft right now, total revenue of the company is $140 billion company, right? Maybe 2021 or 2022, they want to achieve $150 billion company. Nothing but they want to become somehow the $10 billion additionally. So that is the objective or goal for the Microsoft company. So that doesn't mean that only Microsoft company should take care of the how to get profits or losses. They should think about information security also, right? So whenever company is thinking about just not only profits and losses, but also they should think about, okay, so information, I mean security also, why? Because why they have to think about security? If any damage will come to that particular company, so completely reputation of the company will completely will go down. So even in your personal life also, you are doing 100 things, out of 100 things 99 things you are doing good, but one thing you are doing bad, they will think about only that particular bad. They will not consider what are 99 things you are doing good, right? This is common humanity or human behavior here also. So 100 projects they completed successfully, but one project or one attack is occurred or one security breach is happened, so that they will consider only that one. They will poke on only that particular point, and finally they will not get the business. It is practically happened to which company last year? Cognizant, CTS, right? CTS company. So they all 225 2 lakh 25, I mean 225k, 2,25,000 employees approximate. For every computer they got hacked by ransomware attack, and this news came into the across the worldwide in the public paper newspaper. Cognizant hacked by some ransomware attack. Then reputation of the company completely went down. Because of that reason, Cognizant company has removed some of the people because they did not get the projects, and whatever projects are there, client has withdrawn that projects. Understood? So because of one reputation, because reputation is completely down because of one attack, one security attack. In the similar way, in 2019, May month, April month, and also June month. Okay. So HCL completely water projects they are handling, it's completely out. Database is out. Okay. Including the client name. In the same year, 2019 TCS got also hacked. And Wipro also got hacked. Phishing email attack. Okay, so reputation of the company will go down, and also that time, Wipro also lost a lot of projects because of these attacks. So what I'm trying to say here, governance means, okay, what are business objectives and business goals are there for a company? They should not think about not only just only profits and loss, but also they have to think about security point of view also. That is called governance. Next one is risk. Risk may be anything. That may be organizational risk, that may be application risk, that may be endpoint risk, that may be network level risk, and so on. Example, I will give one scenario. Amazon website is available, right? Or Flipkart website is available. Consider 1 minute outage of that Amazon Web Services website or Flipkart website. So these websites continuously all over the worldwide, they will place some orders. 1 minute outage of the Amazon Web Service shopping retail website, if it is going down, okay, so they will lose a lot of orders. If they are losing a lot of orders, obviously money will be lose. So that completely here risk is availability of the application. That availability is a part of security. Nothing but always that application of the Amazon or Flipkart should be available to the all the end users or customers to place the orders. Okay, so that risk is just one example I given. In the similar way, you can consider, okay, one building. Okay, so company building natural calamities. So that may be earthquake, that may be flooding, that may be rains, that may be tufan, and so on. So if that risk will come, that company is demolishing or collapsed, what will happen? So they will lose a lot of money, not only just financial matters, even employees matters, also personal matters, persons. So that risk they have to calculate. All this risk is a part of security. Okay, so that is risk. Next one is compliances. Compliances means following rule and regulation. So what is meant by following rule and regulation? Here, example, you can take traffic signals. So red, green, and also yellow will be there. If red one will okay, showing as a red symbol. So then obviously, okay, so that passengers or vehicles, they will stop it. Why they have to stop it? Otherwise, because it's a rule, everybody has to follow. Otherwise, lot of accidents will occur. Okay, if you don't follow that red symbol is coming, so then if you are not following, what will happen? Either you have to pay to penalty to the traffic police, or either you have to go and sit in the jail. Here also companies has to follow that compliances. If you don't follow the compliance, we will not get the business in simple. Okay, lot of certifications they have to do. So that is called compliance. So GRC means governance, risk and compliances. Only for this GRC, we have a lot of vacancies are available in the market. Only for GRC. Okay. Next one is ISO 27001. Okay. So ISO 27001, it's implementation information security. Every organization has to implement information security. So what it contains? It contains the building level security. It contains the HR policies. It contains the legal policies. It contains the employees policies. It will contains the girls policies. Women means sexual harassment policies, password policies, vulnerability management policies, and so on. Okay, so every company has to follow that one. So it is part of information security. Okay, next one is risk assessment. Just now I explained about risk. So natural calamities I said. So example, earthquake or maybe building collapsing due to rain. In that scenario, risk assessment will take, okay, in 1 year of the time, how many times that risk will be occurred? How many times earthquake will come? Because of that earthquake, what are the consequences? Okay, what is the financial wise we will lose it? And what is the personal related, employees related, any impact or harm will be there? So that assessment we have to do. Once we'll do the assessment, then we have to take the appropriate actions to reduce the risk. 100% we cannot eliminate the risk. Okay, but we can reduce the risk. It's not possible 100% to eliminate the risk. So that risk not only will do it on the building level, we have to do it on the endpoint level, we have to do it on the cloud level, we have to do it on the mobile level, we have to do it on the application level, we have to do it on the network level, everywhere. Okay, so that is called risk assessment. Instant response. Instant means, okay, it will completely cause some problem. That problem we have to fix in simple words. It is an issue basically, that issue we have to fix. Okay, so in normal words. So whenever that instant is coming, so we have to respond it and we have to take the appropriate actions. That is called instant response. And BCP. So instant response in security terminologies or maybe in the IT terminology, we'll call it as a instant. Service, especially support team, they will call it as instant. But even application development team, product development team, testing team, they will call it the bugs. They will call it the bugs and we'll call it the instant. That is the difference. There also they are going to fix the code. Here also we'll fix the problem, whatever problem there is on the computer or system or network or application. Understood? They will call the bugs, we will call the instant. That's the difference. And BCP and DR, business continuity planning and disaster recovery. Okay, how to continue the business whenever some incident is happened. Example, you can consider 2007 and also not 2007, 2009 and also 2017, I think December month. Normally Chennai location, floods will come in the December month of the time, November or December. So that time, these northwest monsoon and whatever monsoons, it will go and it will end in the Chennai location, right? So that time, lot of rains will come. So that when that 2017 and also 2009 time, so lot of companies they given a holiday. So TCS, CTS, Mindtree, Accenture, every company, 1 week they given complete holidays to all the employees, not only software companies, mechanical, electrical, every company. So business because of the rains, right? So in that scenario, how to continue the business operations from the other location? Other location means here that may be Bangalore, that may be Chennai, sorry, that may be Hyderabad, that may be Pune or okay, so Mysore and so on. So that is called business continuity planning. That is also part of information security. Disaster recovery. Disaster recovery means, so here one site is going down, how to continue that business? What is the secondary site we have? Whether secondary site we have to keep in the within 1 kilometer? No. Earthquake is coming in the, okay, so particular location. So we should not keep disaster recovery site, nothing but backup, like a backup. Disaster recovery means backup site. Primary site is going down. Backup site we have to put in the little bit 50 kilometers or 100 kilometers away. So that's called disaster recovery site. So these two is a part of incident response. So these four things will come under the information security. For information security, if you want to go, yes, it's a lot of vacancies are available. It's a complete auditing part. They have to do risk assessment. They have to do risk analysis. They have to think about compliances and so on. But it's a very respectable job, right? Second one, physical security. So they call it the PS, physical security. So physical security will deal about completely physical things. What is meant by physical things here? From the organization point of view, that may be building. Just I given one example related to earthquake. So when any employee is entering into the company, first thing is security guard will be there in front of the organization. So that security guard is a part of physical security. If that security guard will not be available, what will happen? Anybody will come into the organization. They can cut the trees, or they will come into the night and they will steal some furniture and so on. So security guard is one type of physical security because a physical human being. Second one, CCTV cameras. It will monitor 24/7 who is coming into the component and who is going out. In and out they will consider. Okay, so that is one physical security. Fingerprints. Okay, so that fingerprints is one physical security. Nowadays it is coming into the driver pattern of your mobile or your face recognition to your laptop and mobile. That is also one physical security. Okay, so employee ID card, that is also physical security. And you can see olden days, they used to go to the office at 9 o'clock and they used to enter the signature of the person. And also when he is leaving out of the company, so they will once again enter at 6 o'clock he's leaving. Example, nowadays also they are following like MD, Mandal, Tahsildar offices, MRO, MDO, MIO, and so on. So still, those are all signatures also. It's a part of physical security, basically. So this physical security, I don't consider this one, and you can ignore about physical security. Okay. So third one, endpoint security. Endpoint security or endpoint protection. So this is third one. First of all, endpoint means what? Endpoint means here end user machine. Who is endpoint in the organization? Nothing but employee. Who is endpoint? Who is not last reachable in the organization? Company point of view. So here employee is the last person, right? So he is endpoint. So what he will use? Okay, so company property, he will use laptop. That is one of the endpoint. He will use MacBook. That is one of the endpoint. Maybe he will use desktop. That is one of the endpoint. Maybe he will use workstation. That is one of the endpoint. Or maybe servers. All these will call it as endpoints. Laptop, MacBook, desktop, workstation. Once you are joining in a company or onboarding in a company, they'll go laptop or MacBook. Okay, all these will call it as endpoints. Whatever security control or whatever protection you are providing to these endpoints, will call it as endpoint security or endpoint protection. So what are some of the examples of the endpoint protection we will provide to even your personal laptop? One is antivirus. Okay, it will block virus related attacks. One is anti-malware. So this is one type of endpoint security protection. So one is the HADS, HAPS. It is one type of security solution will implement all these endpoints. Okay, one is encryption. So this type of some of the solution will implement. One is a DLP, data loss or data leak prevention. So these are all some of the endpoint security solutions we'll implement for all these endpoints. That is called endpoint security. Okay. So this is one of the security technology. Only for this antivirus, we have a lot of vacancies. Combination of antivirus plus HADS, HAPS, we have vacancies. Combination of antivirus plus DLP, we have vacancies available in the market. Okay. Next technology, network security.
Sir, most of the using which type of software, sir, and antivirus?
That most of the companies, they are using McAfee, Trend Micro, and they are using, these are all completely commercial, nothing but we have to purchase. But if you are going for the personal point of view, most of the people, they will think that, okay, why I have to pay money 360 rupees for antivirus tool? Okay, they will not think about all these security points. They will use Avast, they will use Norton. Okay, so they will use some of the open source technology for 30 days. After 30 days, obviously, that will be expired. When you are downloading your virus or malware files, your system will get compromised. And finally, your system will not open properly, and you will not access your websites properly, and completely dead slow because of 360 rupees of money.
Which one is the best antivirus,
Okay.
sir?
Which one is the best means there are a lot of, as I said, Trend Micro, as I said, McAfee, as I said, CrowdStrike, there are a lot of antivirus tools are available. We'll discuss that one under the antivirus.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Next one is network security. So network security means completely network level. So all these computers or printers or whatever devices we are using in the company or organization will connect using LAN or WAN. So that is called network. Okay. So those whatever security controls are implementing on that network level, we'll call it as a network security. So example, we'll use firewalls. Okay, firewall, it is like a wall. Okay. So next one is proxy server. Next one is load balancer. This is not security solution, but anyway. What more is NADS and NAPS, network level intrusion detection system, network level intrusion prevention system. So these are all some of the solutions on the network level. Okay, organization network level. So only for firewalls itself, a lot of vacancies are there. Combination of firewalls for proxy servers, combination of firewalls for load balancer, and so on. So next one, application security. So before going to application, I will move to cloud security. So cloud security means whatever these security controls you are implementing on the infrastructure database level. So example, CCTV camera, no, okay, forget about CCTV cameras. Whatever compliances we are implementing on the on-premise. On-premise means here one of the site where your company location is deployed or established, where company is there. So there they will put some of the data center or complete equipments. That is called on-premise. Okay. Whatever on-premise servers we are deploying on the data center level, okay, whatever applications we are deploying on that particular servers, whatever controls we are implementing on the endpoint level and also network level, same controls we have to implement on the cloud also. Because cloud, as I said, we will use some of the leasing time. That is, there are different types of cloud. Once again, public cloud, private cloud, or hybrid cloud. And once again, there are different types of platforms they have. One is IaaS. They have PaaS, SaaS. Okay, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Okay, so these are all once again cloud security part. Infrastructure as a service means they will give some space, but you have to build the servers and you have to build your applications. That is called infrastructure as a service. Platform means it's a hybrid kind of thing. So they will provide something and you have to do something. And software as service. So they will give the entire infrastructure. On top of that one, you have to build your own applications. That is software as service. So, and also whatever these endpoint level security controls we implemented and network level controls we implemented, application level controls we implemented, cyber security controls we implemented, same thing we have to implement on the same things we have to implement on the even cloud also. That is called cloud security. So top vendors available in the market: AWS, Amazon. Next one is Azure. Next one is GCP, Google Cloud Platform, IBM, and Oracle. So these are all top 5 service providers of the cloud. Okay. Next one, application security or product security. So what is meant by application security? Every application that maybe take your WhatsApp or take maybe your one of the Facebook application or Twitter or YouTube. Okay, so those are all called applications, right? Every application it contains 3 types of layers or architecture. One is called user layer. Second one is called business or logical layer. Okay, next one is backend database layer. So this is the application architecture. So user layer, a business layer, or database layer. So these are all 3 components for every application. So example, take one application developer. Okay, user layer means front end. Front end, you are accessing the Facebook. You will give username, or you will give email address, or you will give mobile number, and you will enter password. Then you will click on login page. So that is called user layer, user friendly. Then it will open the one of the window home page. So that is user layer. What is business or logical layer? So nothing but here, whatever application development they are working on backend, that may be microservices like Java or J2EE or Python or Ansible, some of the scripting languages, or HTML or JavaScript, or C, C++ or C# and so on. So that backend logic programming language they are using, that is business or logical. Example, when you're clicking on login button, why it has to go to the home page of the Facebook. So because backend they will develop that program. Okay, so that is called business or logical layer. Next one is database layer. Database means here, once you are signing up of your account, your username and password, it will store in the database. Then, okay, once you are registered and it's over, then you are once again you want to log into that particular application, you will enter your username and password. Then it will fetch your information from the database. So those are all the 3 layers available in the application. Okay, for all those application development life cycle, we'll use one of the concept called SDLC life cycle. SDLC life cycle means software development life cycle. Software development life cycle. Okay, so that is SDLC life cycle. SDLC, nothing but how to develop the application or how to develop the product. So here, once again, under software development life cycle, we have different type of phases are there. One is called requirement phase. Next one we'll call it the design phase. Next one we'll call it development phase. Next one we'll call it a testing phase. Next one is we'll call it operational phase. So these are all the software development life cycle phases. Requirement phase, example, Facebook video call. That is requirement. Initially, they don't have video call option. After that, they implemented video call option. So that time they want to implement video call of the Facebook. Design. So how that video call will work at the time of calling from one user to another user. What is the backend design architecture it contains? Okay. Development. Once the design is completed, then they will make development. How that video call, once they are clicking on the audio button or video button and calling option, how it will reach to the opposite person and how he has to click that particular button and how it has to open the video and audio. That is development phase, and developers, they develop the code. Testing phase. Testing phase, whether that whatever developed the code, whether it is correctly working or not. Feature wise, they will test it. So example, we have a lot of Selenium testing people, or maybe Java testing people, and so on. Okay, here it's a combination of both development and also say architect of the application team. Okay, so then we have testing team. Okay, so once that feature is successfully verified by testing team, then they will release that feature to the public. Public means here every end user. Facebook will release to the every user. So that is called operational. So each and every phase of the software development life cycle, we have to provide the security. That security we will call it as application security or product security. Product security also will follow same concept. Software development life cycle. Okay. Product development case, most of the people, example Honeywell, Robert Bosch, Philips, and so on, they will use C, C++ embedded languages. Okay, so application development purpose, they will use either Java, that is microservices, or they will use .NET programming languages, or HTML or JavaScript, and so on. Okay, so that is the difference. So product and also application side. So both will fall under the same category, that is software development life cycle. So each and every phase of the life cycle of the SDLC, we have to see the security at the time of feature development. What the feature development example I given? Okay, Facebook audio video, audio call or video call. So this is the feature. In the requirement phase, what security constraints will be there? So example, when I'm making a WhatsApp video call, or maybe when I'm making the Facebook video call, in between me and my opposite person, whomever I am calling, so somebody will come in between us, they will break our session and they will listen whatever we both are speaking. Okay. So that requirement, we have to think about security point of view, whether whatever data it is going from one person to the another person, it is encrypted, or hacker or attacker can come in between and he will see that particular data, or he will listen whatever we are speaking. So that is requirement phase, they have to validate. Design level, once the design is coming, then they have to do threat modeling. Threat modeling means whatever issues are there on that particular call, so they have to sit with the respective product development team or application development team, and they will use some of the tools, and then they will make one modeling of the threats. What are the issues are available in the encryption level, confidentiality level, privacy level. Okay, so data transferring level, authentication level, authorization level, availability level. So they will think about the threat modeling concept, and they will identify by sitting with the respective development team, and then they will make some of the vulnerabilities list, what are weaknesses we can identify, and whether we have to fix in that particular release itself or maybe the future release. So they have to do threat modeling. Next one is development phase. Once that feature is completed design level, then it will go to development phase. Development phase here, developers, they will develop the code. They will develop the code. Example, they will use what are programming languages, and whatever code they developed, what security team has to do, whether they developed the code in the correct manner or not. Security point of view, any bugs are there from the security point of view, they have to validate that code whatever they developed backend. So inside also they will check, for example, in the development phase, application development, peer reviews they will do. For example, junior programming analyst is there and senior program analyst is there. Junior programmer, they will develop the code, and senior program, he will review the code, whatever junior is developed, right? So that is called peer review. Peer means here within the team, two people will review the code. That is called peer review. Peer is nothing but neighbor, right? So that is within the code. So code quality, code assurance wise only they will check it. Peer reviews. But what security team has to see, they have to scan it, code whatever they develop. They have to think about application level or code level issues are there from the security point of view. Okay, so they have to scan the code, and then they have to, okay, so once whatever vulnerability is identified, we have to share that code with the respective application development team or product or development team. Then respective teams, they will fix that bugs. That is called development phase. Okay, next one is testing phase. Testing phase, normal feature testing is different. That whatever audio call or video call I said, so as testing team like Selenium or Java or whatever testing it may be, they will use some of the testing tools, and whether traffic is going on from one end user to the another end user. Okay, so that whether any jam is coming or network latency is coming or delay is coming or jitter is coming, they will verify. So by testing that particular video call or audio call. So they will do the feature testing. They will not do the, okay, so security testing. But what security team has to do? They will do security testing. So that security testing only we will call it as a VAPT, vulnerability assessment and pen test. Vulnerability assessment and pen test. Okay, that I will explain later. So that is about application security and product security, right? Next one, last one is cyber security. So cyber security under this one, once again, we have two different types of technologies. One is called SOC, Security Operations Center. Second one is called VAPT.
Sir, one is missing, sir. Cloud security.
Cloud security, I said already, fifth one.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay, cyber security, SOC or VAPT. Okay. So SOC means here Security Operations Center. First of all, what is cyber? First of all, what is cyber? Cyber is nothing but internet, cyber cave or internet cave. Okay, they'll put cyber cave or internet cave where we'll go and we'll browse internets, we'll take the printouts and so on, right? So cyber means here internet related. Okay, cyber security means internet related attacks. Most of the attacks will come from the external attacker through internet, right? So that is called cyber security. So external attackers, so most of the attacks will come through internet. If internet is there, most of the attacks will come. If internet is not there in your office, no attacks will come. Understood? So you will not receive the emails, you will not open any website. Obviously, if you are not accessing the website, almost 90% of the attacks we can reduce. Okay. So cyber security means here, protect whatever attacks are coming from the external attackers or hackers or intruders. So the cyber security SOC team, Security Operations Center, SOC, they will monitor 24/7 into 365 days. So nothing but year total. So they have to monitor 24/7 into 365 days continuously. And any attacks are coming, they have to see which system or application or network or cloud that attack is occurred, and they have to do the incident investigation or attack investigation. That is called computer investigation. Computer investigation or incident investigation. That incident is nothing but attack basically. So attack investigation. Okay, so that is about computer investigation. Means here what this team will do, what is the job role of SOC team. So they will monitor 24/7. What they will monitor? Security related attacks they will monitor. Any attacks are coming to the organization. So that may be on the endpoint level, nothing but laptop level, that may be on the network level, that may be on the email level, that may be on the server level, that may be on the cloud level, that may be on application level. So they will monitor entire 24/7 all the remaining things whatever we discussed. That may be application, that may be product, that may be cloud, or that may be network, or that may be endpoint or computers. So that whatever monitoring and whenever something got breaching is happened, security breach or something attack is happened or some compromised incident is happened, our team, SOC team, they will take care of the appropriate actions. What is meant by appropriate actions? They will do the prevention techniques. Once that attack is coming, what we have to do, whether we have to clean that particular file or system, what is the application level impact, they have to analyze everything in simple words. Here, what SOC team will do, they will do computer investigation by monitoring the security of the total endpoint, application, product, servers, infrastructure, cloud, and so on. So here there are three types of levels we have. One is called L1 level, second one is called L2 level, L3 level, or some of the people they will call it as tier 1 team, or tier 2 team, or tier 3 team. So these are all the different types of levels we have. L1 level, L2 level. What is meant by that one? L1 level support. Example, your experience up to 0 to 4 years of experience. 4 years of experience. Fake you are putting or real you are putting. Or maybe you are moving from one technology to another technology. Then you are part of L1 level. And in between 4 to maybe 8 years of experience or maybe 7 years of experience. Then you are L2. And if it's more than 7 or more than 6, you are then L3. Okay, it will vary that basically experience wise. So L1 people will call it as security analyst or information security analyst or cyber security analyst. Analyst, what is the difference between analyst and engineer? Analyst will do support role. Okay, but engineer will do design or implementations or configurations. So that is the difference. Understood? Analyst. So analyst in the, okay, so our especially security point of view, analyst means he's into support role. So what is security engineer means? Security engineer, he will do the implementations also. He's nothing but L3 we can say. Okay. So one of the designation is L1 will call security analyst or information security analyst or cyber security analyst. Second one, L2. L2 is a little bit experience. Okay. So then we'll call it as senior security analyst. It will vary from organization to organization. Some of the organizations, they will call it this one as IR, incident responder. If you are going for HSBC, if you are going for Shell company, they will not call it as senior security analyst. They will call it as incident responder. Vacancy name. Third one. So these are all completely L3 level. So these are all we'll call senior security analyst, or we'll call it as a threat hunting team or reverse engineering team or malware analysis team or malware analysis engineer or whatever. So these are the three different types of designations we have under the L3. Okay. So that is about SOC. What is meant by SOC in simple? I will give one more example. Okay, CBI officer or FBI officers, Federal Bureau Investigation, if it is America, CBI, Criminal Bureau Investigation in India, they will do criminal investigation. So if something suicide or anything is happened, policies they will go. Okay, so then they will check respect to evidences they will gather, whether it is a really suicide attempt or somebody has murdered. They will check those evidences. They will do some investigation. There they are doing the criminal investigation, but here we are doing computer investigation. That is the only difference. Both the teams, security team also has to submit the report, and even CBI officers or FBI officers, they have to submit the report. So whatever evidences you gathered on the attack wise, whether really that one is happened or not, because otherwise court will not accept, right? If you don't have the written communication or evidence or chain of custody, okay, or witness why it is required. So obviously something written communication is a mandatory. In the computer terminology also, whatever high court or supreme court evidences we are following, or chain of custody we are following, or forensic investigation they are following, same as it is we will also follow. So for the attacker investigation point of view, so that is called computer investigation or incident investigation. Understood? So that is security operations center. This security operations center, why they will got SOC? So they have other names also there. That is called CERT, Computer Emergency Response Team. Computer Emergency Response Team. So it is a indirectly another name for SOC. Another name for SOC. So we have one more name is there, CSIRT, Cyber Security Incident Response Team. Okay, whenever some attack is happened, that emergency level, these team will handle that particular situation. In government level, India also we have set team. So they will monitor all the ministries, they will monitor all the police departments, they will all the monitor, okay, government hospitals, they will monitor total entire fire alarm departments, and so on. So in the public sector or government sector, they will call it as a SET, Computer Emergency Response Team. Example, you can go and see India SET. Okay. So India wise, whatever that Computer Emergency Response Team is there, they will monitor. So whatever attacks is happening all over the worldwide, and also on the India government side, what attack is coming here. So they will update in this particular block. Okay. So that Computer Emergency Response Team in the public sector or government sector called it SET. And the similar US SET, they will call it US SET, or Australia SET, and so on. CSIRT means Cyber Security Incident Response Team. So whenever incidents will come, they will take care. So that is also same thing. So here in this SOC or SET or CSIRT, L1, L2, L3 teams will be there. They will monitor 24/7 whether any attacks are coming to the organization level. That organization level may be endpoint level, network level, application level, cloud level, server level, database level, infrastructure level, and so on. Then they will monitor and they will block it, or they will, whenever something got compromised, they will take the mitigation steps. Okay, so this is the SOC team. So they will sit in one room. That center means here they will sit in one room. They will put some cameras, not cameras, TVs. So they will put very, very big TVs, and whenever incident is coming, it will display in that particular dashboard. Example, you can see on the bus stations, railway stations, or maybe in the flight, airport, and so on. It will display that, so whatever train or flight it's going on and coming back, arrival or a departure. Here also, whatever attacks are coming, they will put in the one room, the TVs, and these three teams, L1 team, L2 team, L3 team, they will sit and they will monitor continuously any attack is coming or not. So that is called SOC. In simple, what is meant by cyber security SOC means whenever they will monitor, whenever attacks will come, they will do the instant investigations. That is SOC. Second part is BAPT. As I said, if you want to go for BAPT, you should have the knowledge of development programming skills. One C++ or Java, one of the programming skills, it's a mandatory. Why? Because you should, as I said, you have to scan the code and you have to review the code also. If you want to review the code, first of all, you should know the programming skills, whether they are using integer, whether they are using character, whether they are using variable, or whether they are using OOPS concept. Okay, all those things, whether they are in functions calling from one variable to another variable or one function to another function, how it is working, all those things you should know. So then only it's better, my opinion or my advice or my suggestion, it's better you have the programming skills, better to go for VAPT. First 1 year you can work on the SOC, after that you can move to VAPT. It is indirectly we'll call the ethical hacking, CEH, certified ethical hacking. So they will complete what are the different types of, okay, VAPT full form is vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. Pen test. Penetration testing shortcut is pen test. So here they will do on the application level, they will do on the mobile level. Nowadays mobile is become very famous. They are do IoT. Now IoT also one of the leading technology. Next one they will do on the cloud level, they will do on the network level, they will do on the server level. So but VAPT, whenever they are saying VAPT means application is the most important. Now there are a lot of vacancies available for application security. Not only application, even SOC also we have. Okay. So, but you should know that one programming language, as I said, and this is completely different. Okay. You should know some of the attacks, OWSP top and some other attacks are there. So this VAPT team, they will do on the application level, they will do on the mobile level, they will do on the IoT level, and so on, penetration testing. They will do two types of penetration testing. One is called automated penetration testing. Here we'll use some of the tools, same like normal testing, right? So here they will use manual penetration testing also. Here security testing basically. VAPT means security testing. So here manually means they have to go and verify some of the attacks are, okay, so hacking. So they have to verify some of the attacks and they have to make one report. That report will call the VAPT report. They will do on the application level, mobile level, IoT, but most of the vacancies are available on the application. But if your experience is increasing, they are expecting all these levels. All these levels. Okay. So once again, there are three types of testing they will do this pen test. Three types of testing they will do. One is called white box penetration testing. Second one is called gray box penetration testing. Third one is called black box penetration testing. First of all, what is meant by vulnerability? Vulnerability is nothing but some of the issue. In simple words, some of the attack. Example, security guard is not there in front of the organization or company. What will happen? Everybody will go. Okay. So antivirus is not installed on your system. So that malware or virus is installed in your system. Okay. So these are all some of the vulnerable. Not only this one, there are a lot of vulnerabilities will be there. So white box means here, so whatever vulnerabilities it is existing, these pen test team, penetration testing team, they will use these type of penetration techniques and they will validate whether really that vulnerability existing or not, that weakness is existing or not, that bug is existing or not. So they will use these three different. White box means, so example, take Facebook itself. This is one of the application level example I'm taking. So you are the penetration testing team guy and you want to do pen test on the Facebook level. What is white box means here? I will provide the total end-to-end information. I have to provide end-to-end information. So meaning what? I have to provide the username of the application. I have to provide the password of the application of the Facebook. Okay, so then I have to provide information which programming language backend they are using. So once I will provide complete information, then this white box penetration testing team, they will validate the issues or bugs in the security point of view, and then they will make one vulnerability assessment penetration testing report. So that is the example application level. In the similar server level. So if it is server level, then I have to provide, so username of the server, password of the server, and also what is the server, whether it is a Windows server operating system or whether it is a Linux server operating system. White box means we have to provide end-to-end information, and so then they have to pen test team, they have to identify the issues, they have to hack it, they have to identify the bugs or issues or vulnerabilities. Gray box. Gray box means partial information. So we'll come back on this one. Black box. Black box means like you are a hacker. Indirectly, you are like a hacker. I will not provide anything. Just I will provide if only Facebook application is there. You have to hack it. So whatever tools you will use, you have to hack it. So I will not provide username. I will not provide password. I will not provide the programming language. Okay, that is called black box. So okay, so in the server level also same thing. I'll provide only IP address of the server, and then they have to hack the server, and they have to see what are the server files it is uploaded or downloaded or modified or created and so on, and whoever users are created in that particular server. Okay, so that is called black box. What is meant by gray box? Gray box in between white box and black box. Like a partial information I'll provide. I'll provide just only IP address of the server, or I will provide only username and password. I will not provide programming language. So example, server level, I will provide IP address, and I will provide IP address. That's all. Then they have to hack it. It's like a partial information. So, but most of the case will use white box. Your pen test means you will use white box only, nothing but you will log into the application and you will identify the issues. Black box means it's very difficult, and you should know the programming languages, you know the hacking technologies, you know the how to develop the malwares and so on. It's very little bit difficult. You know the reverse engineering concept. Okay. So, and also they will do threat modeling. As I said, they will do threat modeling also in the VAPT. Okay, so this is the two courses are available under the cyber security. One is SOC, second one is VAPT. Okay, in my class, what I will teach, SOC I am teaching. Okay, so if you want to go for VAPT, it should be required, as I said, little bit programming skills, and the interview also little bit difficult. So when you are going for a development interview, how they will ask like one, okay, so write one programming. Here also, they will give one of the hacking output, and they will ask which type of attack is this one. Nothing but you should know that backend development or program. Then only you can clear that particular interview. As compared to SOC, VAPT is little bit difficult. Okay. So SOC I am teaching, and it is SOC approximate time. It is 60 days. So 60 days, it will take total dedicatedly. I'm taking daily classes. It will take 60 days. Otherwise, it will extend it maybe 70 or 75 also. If I'm regular, then only. Okay. So then VAPT, it will take approximate. It will take 45 days to 50 days, 45 days, 50 days regularly. Okay. So that's all about overall demo side. Okay. What I will do tomorrow itself, I will start classes. So first of all, I want to apologize for some of the people whoever is already part of SOC 9th batch, because I already taught only just 15 to 20 classes in between. And after that, because of my busy schedule of the meetings, unfortunately, I did not, okay, so I did not take the training. Sorry for that, and apologies from my side. So once again, as a brush up, I will continue from the starting of the classes. So in the tomorrow class, once again, I will say what are things I will teach. Okay, what are the things I will teach next 60 days. That's all overall view I can provide. Okay, so that is about overall SOC and demo of the class. In the tomorrow class, just once again introduction, and just I will explain about the which tools I will explain. Okay, so what are the different types of open source tool, or what are the commercial tools we will use, and what is the syllabus for SOC and VAPT. So as I said, I am teaching only SOC, not VAPT, remember. Okay, that's all about overall demo class. So do you have any queries? Okay, happy to answer. Any queries or any questions? Nobody has any questions? There are a lot of new people also joined. Anybody has any questions or queries?
No, sir.
No. Okay, then. Okay, what I will do from tomorrow onwards, regularly I will take class, but I'm not sure about Sunday. But tomorrow I will take. Tomorrow, maybe morning, I can take the class at 7:30. Okay, not absolutely tomorrow I will take the class. Okay. From Monday, I will continue the classes in case if I'm not taking this Sunday. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So
Okay, sir.
from Monday onwards, I will take the continuation of the classes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Timings of the classes morning. So this one is not evening classes. It is morning from 7:30 to 9 because evening I have scheduled meetings almost from 5 to till 9:30. I have meetings. Okay, morning 7:30 to 8:30 or maybe I will extend to 8:45. So something like that because 9 o'clock I have meeting. Any other questions?
Sir, I'm Farooq.
So as of now, I taught around 110 members. Okay, so out of 110 members, 52 members are already got job. Out of 110 members, so 52 members are got job. So highest package is 39 lakhs package and lowest package is 5 lakhs. Lowest package is 5 lakhs and highest package is 39 lakhs. Okay. And I will not think about quantity of the people or how many batches I'm teaching. That is not important for me. Okay, so what I will give constant quality of the product or quality of the training I'm giving. Example, if I'm teaching to the 10 people, at least 7 people should be placed or 7 people should be get job. Otherwise, I can teach per day itself 4 or 5 classes. I can earn a lot of money. That is not okay. Whatever salary I'm getting, that is more than sufficient to me. Okay, because of me, somebody is settling their career, their life. Okay, so that is important for me. So that's why I will give the quality as compared to quantity of the people, how many people I'm teaching. Okay, so that's why I will not keep on this batches also. I will not give continuation per annum or per year. I will teach. Okay, almost 3 years onwards I'm teaching. Just I given only training to 110 members. Okay, so that's all about overall. Okay, so do you have any other? I think somebody is asking some question.
Sir, I'm Farooq, sir.
Yes, please, Farooq.
Sir, during these 60 days, can we have any practical exposure, sir, like hands-on experience?
Absolutely, you will be there. Hands-on experience I will provide. I will show some of the tools but only thing is grasping is should be required.
Yes.
So whatever classes I will teach first 1 week or 10 days completely, it's like so TV news or maybe watching some of the YouTube videos or movies or songs and so on. But after 1 week, okay, you will be stabilized. You will be stabilized. Sorry, you will be stabilized. Okay, yes, practical tools I will show you like firewalls, antivirus, SIM tools, and so on. Practical scenarios I will explain. Resume preparation I will explain and how to answer. Okay, what you have to do and what you should not do. All those things I will explain. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You are welcome, Farooq. Any other? Okay, if you don't have any queries, then we will continue tomorrow at 7:30. Okay, so I will send the link by end of the today. Okay. Okay, that's all, guys. And also, I will share this demo link also to you. Whenever you will get a free time, just you can go through that and just you can understand. Okay. So that's all overall today demo. Before winding up or before wrapping up, do you have any queries?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, then it's perfect. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow morning 7:30.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yes.
Bye.